Hello and welcome to another edition of the Gravestone Pros here at North Country Memorials. We are so glad that you have come. Hope you enjoy this episode. There's a lot going to be going on. The guys have been busy working on all the equipment behind me here, and we had a shipment come in. Eric was working on the sandblaster a little bit, tearing some of that apart to get it cleaned up and ready to go. Dad was working on the top of the sandblast booth so that we had room to store stuff up there. Needed to make it a little beefier. And so a lot of different stuff was going on. We had the dust collector fire up for the first time. So there's a ton in this episode. And we're going to have a little sneak peek showing the very first stone that was blasted in the automatic blaster today. So come along. The electrician's been here today working on the dust collector, and I hear it running out here, so I'm going to take a peek out and see what's going on. It's definitely running. Kind of feel air moving a little bit in here. That is very exciting. I don't know how loud it sounds. I'm actually kind of impressed at how quiet it is. I thought it would be a lot louder than it really is, so that's not bad. We will shut the door behind me here, but man, with the door shut, it's quite quiet. So not bad at all. And the next step in the process, so that is fantastic.
I was on a lovely little chat with our dear friend James in Michigan, and he was just explaining to me how all of this works. Show you that, and then hopefully, I think I'm also going to be taking off that hose, and then we will be taking apart basically everything to see the insides, the innards, the guts, and the glory.
All right, Eric is hard at work here, disassembling.
Shoot, I never time-lapse into this.
He's getting there. This is the last part to come off, right, Eric?
Yes.
So, got almost everything off. We've got a whole pile of parts laying there. Beauteous. You got that out. How's it looking there?
There's a bunch of sand in here. New sand.
Yep.
There you go.
A little finer. Yep. Yeah, cool. Good.
All right, so I just finished tearing apart the blaster here, and we're going to take apart the rest of it and check all the diaphragms and all of the fittings and stuff and make sure everything looks good, and then we're going to put it on the other sandblaster. I didn't catch any clips of us taking apart. By us, I mean me. But I will hopefully, if I remember to, get some clips of me pulling apart all the fittings and putting everything back together and putting it on sandblaster. But we're all stripped down now. I had some difficulty with the one bottom fitting. It was a different size pipe wrench than I had here, so I had to go borrow one and all that sort of fun stuff. But glad you could see. I like that.
Okay, so I've got Eric putting together a pipe that will bring our sand down, and I'm going to this is my first trip on the GoPro, so so that should be looking in the hole. Everything is hooked up here that we can start letting sand go down in there. Eric's going to get a bucket of sand, and I think before we dump it in here, we'll make sure that's all running. So in here, let me get some light on. In here are screws, one over there and one here, that will pick up it's our recovery system. Those screws take the sand to the far end, and it gets distributed from there to the elevator. So the elevator is here, goes up, the sand will come down and out, and there is a screw that goes from the bottom of the elevator straight over. So that has to be plugged in separately. So Eric's got that plugged in over there. Go ahead. Well, that runs pretty quiet. So the screws are slowly turning, and Eric's going to deposit that. You can, no, right through there, it's fine. Or you could come over here, make them work. All right, dump her in the far end too, if you can. It don't matter. Doesn't really matter. All right, so he's dumping that in. We should technically pretty soon here should see our first sand. There is a screen there in case there's any debris. So what was that, about 3 gallons that you put in there? 4? Okay, wow. There it comes, the first sand. Yep. Comes kind of poof, poof, poof. We wanted a 14-inch pipe. Oh, because we were going to elbow up there. Oh, okay. Cool. Doesn't move too super fast, does it? So then, all right, yeah, follow me around with the camera over here. Actually, give me the camera and get your light in from the other way, and we'll show them what we got going on here. So yeah, that's taking her slow.
I mean, it is moving it though.
Oh yeah, it is moving it. Maddie, now that's my nephew who worked for me back when we were sandblasting outdoors, probably shoveled more sand up than any of us did. Eric's been shoveling up sand. Christian never did a lot of shoveling sand. He did some. He did so, well, yes, no, he did when he was sandblasting. Yeah, that's right. I'm forgetting that. Sorry. But Eric shoveled a lot. His uncle shoveled a lot this winter. Zach, if you remember Zach, for about a month, he was here and doing some of this work. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not super hard work. It's one of the things that we call a chore. You have to do it multiple times in a day sometimes. What do you do it 2, 3, 4 times sometimes?
Most I've done it is 4 times in a day.
4 times. So, but he was also sifting sand. We don't think we'll be sifting sand anymore. Maybe on occasion we'll
Clean out the system and put new sand in.
Maybe, I don't know. But mostly we'll be adding new sand on a regular basis. So.
It's pretty consistent. I mean, it's not very fast.
Right. It just keeps pop, pop, pop. Right. Yeah, it'd be interesting someday to have to open the access panel. There's a bottom clean out, there's an access panel that runs from here down to here, and then there's an access panel that runs all the way up. And someday I'm sure we'll have to open that up. Cool.
Good morning. We're proceeding along with the sandblast booth. Today we're going to be working on putting a second roof on, which is actually going to be a floor. We need to put on top of it our moisture separator tank, and we can't just set it up there. We've got to actually create a floor, put in 2x4s and cover that. So I'm in here early, and I've got to get my materials together for that. So come along with me, and we'll see what we can find. I'm figuring out this this GoPro here. I think we're getting it. And it's about 7:30. Eric's coming in 8 o'clock, and so I'm just puttering around, enjoying some coffee. This I don't remember if we showed you any of this. You might have saw a little bit of it, but in yesterday's video, Eric built me a cage lift. It's got railings on the side. I've been up a few different times on the forklift, and it's fine, works good on a pallet that's covered, but having sides on it, just a lot more wisdom. Makes you feel a little more safe. So we did that. Got a little bit to it yet to do. I'm gonna look around here, see what I got. I need 2x4s. For my joists that go on this on the rooftop. So let's take a look at what we got. Not totally sure of my length. That I need to check. I don't think those are going to be enough. 4-footers is what we need, and so that's what we will get. We will not get them from those. Now the question is, do I cut shorter ones that are not 4 foot and cut a little bit off of them? Now I found a whole bunch of 4-footers. I mean, closer to 4-footers.
It's gonna be a weird edit in, but we were working on other stuff today and didn't notice monuments are coming in. Where you got other loads to deliver today?
All around here and then up there.
That's not too bad of a hike. Still unloaded. We got 4 pallets, 5 pallets to unload. That's 1. That's 2. 3 will be next. Pulled out. We're all unloaded. I'll show you guys what we got here. Up here. we're unloaded. We got that crate right there, and then these 4 right here. We had a little bit of trouble with the last one. I'll show you why. It's all tilted, and that frame of this pallet's all cracked to crap and broken. But we're all unloaded. As long as nothing tips over, we're all good.
I want to show you here, Dad did indeed get the rooftop done that he was working on. There it is. Has a separation here and then a whole nother spot up here. So the whole thing is covered and he uses it for storage up there, and he basically just made joists that go across and then plywood on top. Very simple but effective, and you can tell we got the red tank put up there. That works as a holding tank, also a moisture separator for us. But he never got any more footage of that day. So I wanted to tell you, he did complete that project, got it done. As happens often, seems like the guys get videoing stuff, but then, yeah, they get in the middle of something else, or they come back and finish the project, but they forget to video finishing the project. So I figured I'd at least show you that it is finished. And as for Eric's project, it is all still in a bucket here. We will be getting that put together at some point. That's all the pressure hold stuff, and he's going to have to work on cleaning it all up a little more, and then we'll have to get it all assembled and put back on. But that project is not finished yet. I will give you just a quick sneak peek. We have actually started blasting. That is the first stone to be blasted in the automatic blast room, and there'll be a lot more of that coming up. We often are behind with the videos from what's actually going on, so even though this week I'm showing you that this is here, there's a lot more to show you in the videos, so it'll probably be a couple weeks before you actually see the full-on stuff. But it was very exciting, and so I really wanted to tell you guys that it is done and working, and everything's not perfect yet, but I'm really excited at where it's heading. Seems like we've got a good handle on stuff, and took a little bit of time to get to this point, but feels well worth the wait. As we were sitting there and it was sandblasting on its own, it felt pretty good. So very excited about that. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know it was a little bit kind of all over the place, so many different things going on, but we are getting closer and closer to production, and so things are kind of happening. And I know sometimes the camera work isn't the best. We don't always get the beginning to the end of our stories, and I talked to the guys about that and just reminding them, hey, make sure that we see the beginning of your project and the end of your project, because seems like as we get going, stuff just doesn't always get captured. So I'm sorry that we kind of missed some of that, but we're going to keep working at it, getting better at showing you guys everything from beginning to end, because I know that's a lot more fun to watch than watching the beginning of something and then boom, it's done. So we'll try and keep working on that and getting the best content. We certainly are trying, so we'll keep working on it. I just really appreciate you guys coming along. We are up to 360 subscribers, which is pretty cool. Making our way towards that 400 mark. It's coming, and we're also barreling towards the 100 episode mark. We are in the mid-90s right now. I can't remember if this is like 92 or 93, something like that, I think. So that's very exciting as well. Really appreciate you guys coming. Do all that YouTube stuff for me if you can. Leave a like on the video if you liked it, a dislike if you didn't like it. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts. That's one of the most fun things of this, is all the interaction with you guys. Really appreciate it all. And I'm just very thankful and humbled by all the interaction. It's a ton of fun, so appreciate that. Thank you all for coming, and we will see you next time.